Core 2 Transformations Review Sheet question 3 wants to know the new equation of the graph after you've transformed it. So all these start with y equals x squared plus x cubed. So for part A, what do we want to do? Well, we want to do a reflection in the y-axis. So reflection in the y-axis, what do we do for that? We're going to replace x by negative x. So y equals, now the x was squared, so when we replace x with negative x, we have to make sure that that's in brackets because the whole thing is squared, and similarly with cubed. Now that's our equation, but we can tidy this one up. Negative x squared is just x squared. If you think about if you square a negative number, you get a positive. Negative x cubed is negative x cubed. So we can change that here where we're going to have plus minus x cubed, so it's just going to become minus. So it's going to be x squared minus x cubed. Second one. Right, now we're going to do a stretch scale factor 2 in the x direction. Okay, so we want to do a stretch scale factor 2 in x direction, and that's means we're going to replace x by a half x, because we're going to use the reciprocal for the scale factor. So y equals half x, now that's got to all be squared because the x was squared and we're replacing x, and a half x all cubed. Now that's a perfectly good answer, but if we wanted to tidy this up, what we're going to do, well, we're going to need to do a half squared, so that's a quarter x squared, and here we've got a half x cubed, which is the same as a half cubed, which is an eighth x cubed. So moving on to C. So C, again, we're going to be doing a stretch. So let's have a look at this. We're going to stretch. This time it's going to be scale factor half in the x direction. So we're going to replace x again, but this time scale factor is a half, and the reciprocal of a half is 2. So if it's a fraction, think about flipping the fraction over. So y is 2x all squared plus 2x all cubed. And again, if we just want to tidy this up, 2 squared is 4, so it's 4x squared, 2 cubed is 8. And on to the final one, D. Right, this time we've got a slightly different graph. Y is x plus 1 cubed, and we're going to translate this by a vector. So, translating by vectors is adding and subtracting numbers. So we're going to do our translations, which is this area in our table. Okay, so this is what we're going to do with our translation. So in the y direction, looking in the y direction, we're going to replace y by y minus the number. So that's y minus 2. So y becomes y minus 2. Now in the x direction, I'm going to replace x by x minus the number we're translating by. So x is going to become x minus 3. Now in this bracket there's also a plus 1, so I still need the plus 1 because I've only replaced the x, and that's all cubed. Now I'm just going to tidy that up. In the bracket I've got x minus 3 plus 1, so x minus 2, all cubed, and I'm going to move the 2 to the other side. Now some people, they do the translation in the y direction by writing this plus 2 on this side straight away instead of writing y minus 2. So either method's going to work.